Prophet Moses was buried at Mount Nebu near Srinagar, claims Kashmiri historian. For some years now, a nondescript grave situated in the heart of Srinagar has been the center of a theological controversy. A succession of eminent Kashmiri scholars and historians have claimed that the grave is actually the final resting place of Jesus Christ. Hussain, intriguing conclusions. For some years now, a nondescript grave situated in the heart of Srinagar has been the center of a theological controversy. A succession of eminent Kashmiri scholars and historians have claimed that the grave is actually the final resting place of Jesus Christ, India Today, June 1 to 15, 1977. The theory, which discards the popularly held belief that Christ died on the cross and ascended into heaven, has been reluctantly accepted as just one of the many theories surrounding the life and death of Christ. But what religious scholars found more difficult to accept was the parallel theory that the 10 lost tribes of Israel found their way to Kashmir and settled there, thus fulfilling the prophecy that they would be led to the Promised Land, which is, according to the theory, the lush mountains and valleys of Kashmir and not the barren deserts of Palestine. The controversy had, however, lain dormant till last month when it was dramatically reactivated by noted Kashmiri historian, Professor Fida Mohammed Hussain, who has come up with a similar theory regarding the final resting place of another biblical figure, the prophet Moses. In a startling statement, Hussain, 57, introduced his theory that Moses, after fleeing persecution by the Egyptian pharaohs, reached Kashmir and died at the ripe old age of 120 and was buried at Mount Nebu in Bandipur, 50 kilometers northwest of Srinagar. Despite the hornet's nest that Hussain's theory is certain to stir up, it will not be easy to dismiss it out of hand either. For one, taken in the context of the earlier theory about the location of Christ's grave in Kashmir, Hussain's new concept will deserve careful appraisal. Secondly, Hussain has done considerable research on the subject and has backed up his theory with what he feels is the most authentic evidence produced so far. Evidence, for instance, the Old Testament states in the book of Deuteronomy that Moses went up from the plains of Moab unto the mountains of Nebu to the top of Pisgah. So Moses died there in the land of Moab, and he buried him in a valley over against Bethpeor. All the places mentioned in the passage are located in the vicinity of Bandipur. Grave near Bandipur, is it that of Moses the messenger? Additionally, on top of Mount Nebu, there exists the ruined tomb of Musa, the Arabic equivalent of Moses, and a small isolated community that inhabits the mount looks after the tomb and calls itself followers of Musa Paigambur, or Moses the messenger. The present custodian of the grave, Wali Rishi, 80, says his ancestors have guarded the grave for 900 years and insists that this is the grave of the great prophet Moses. Professor Hussain claims that Moses fled to Kashmir with his followers after he was driven out from Canaan, which is now Israel. His theory is that the descendants of these followers settled in Kashmir. In fact, there is a small village called Gutlapura, 30 kilometers north of Srinagar, which is known locally as the colony of Bani Israel, or the Sons of Israel. Their tribal head, Mir Alam Naqshbandi, who claims to be 120 years old, says that they are descendants of Jacob of Israel, which is why they are called Bani Israel. We became Muslims many centuries ago, and before our conversion we were Buddhists. Before that, we were Bani Israeli. We were destined to suffer and scatter all over the world, and we came to Kashmir via Gilgit and Chitral, leaving some of our brethren behind in Iran, Turkey, Samarkand and Afghanistan, says Mir Alam. Another reputed scholar, Professor M.D. Hajani, also points to a meeting between Moses and the prophet Khizr mentioned in the Holy Quran, which took place at a place referred to as Khizr. Hajani feels that Khizr, Baal means spring both in Hebrew and Kashmiri, could easily have changed to Guzar, which is the name of a village near Mount Nebu. Jewish heritage. Hussain is convinced that his theory will eventually be accepted as fact. We will surely be taking the wrong path if the theory is painted in religious colors, as has been done in the past. We have enough evidence to prove that Moses did come to Kashmir. We have in the local museum the Star of David carved on a stone slab. We also have the Stone of Moses and the Staff of Moses preserved in 2 shrines in Kashmir. He points to an account by historian Sir Francois Bernier which states that the people of Kashmir resemble Jews and that Moses died in the city of Kashmir, and his tomb is within a league of it. There are also other fragments of evidence which form part of a total picture. In the village of Havran, 15 kilometers from Srinagar, recent excavations have unearthed sun-baked clay tablets bearing Babylonian symbols which are totally alien to Buddhist or even the traditional Hindu architectural patterns. In fact, many European scholars have remarked on the physical similarities between Jews and Kashmiris and on the prevalence of Israeli traditions, culture, and customs among the people of Kashmir, particularly the Gujars. In his search for Moses' grave, Hussain may have stumbled across another intriguing revelation, that Kashmiris are, in fact, of Semitic origin. Thank you for watching. If you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel.